Hello and welcome to another 5K tennis show. Today is August 26th. It's Monday and we are on show 115. Hola y bienvenido a otra discusión de 5K tenis. Hoy es el 26 de agosto, un lunes. Estamos en el programa 115.
Let's get down! The US Open has begun! Excited!
I still haven't seen a lot of exciting matches. Tonight's going to be some exciting matches.
You mean it tonight could be a very excruciatingly loud, grunting, screeching type match, maybe?
Well, yeah, we've had the screech meter on. I think so far only one person in the whole tournament. Morning matches and afternoon matches, one person.
I think it was a dude, right?
Dude, a veteran, Lorenzi. Ouch.
Whew. Watch out. I don't know how in a year and a half we have managed to miss out on the absolute grunt level of Paolo, the veteran bug-eye Lorenzi.
Paolo Lorenzi, yeah.
But man, he
is terrible for every shot.
Sounds like he's getting beaten with a blunt object every time he hits. Oh! It's like, oh, man, I just got smacked in the face with a bat when I hit the forehand. Jeez. We'll get into that, I can promise you. So the U.S. Open has begun. By the way, please like, share, and subscribe. It means a lot to us. And you can catch up with Carla and I on Facebook, on Instagram, both of which at 5K Tennis, on Twitter at
5K Tennis 1.
5K Tennis and the number 1 as
which
well.
A lot of you do already.
Yes, and as well as on email, and that email is 5ktennis@mail.com. All those links are accessible if you expand the description field. A lot of people say, well, how do I do that? There's a little black arrow generally next to the title on a mobile device, a laptop, etc. You can expand that, and the links are there that can directly land you there, okay? So moving forward, we have a super nice turnout for the fantasy team competition, somewhere around 30 fantasy team challengers that have joined the competition for either a 5K tennis shirt, a YTEX shirt, or 2 sets of YTEX strings.
Or jackets.
Or jackets.
Jackets
depends on size. As well as we have had a super nice turnout for this YTEX V-Core 97 tennis racket giveaway, somewhere around 30 as well. Over the years, Carla and I have done this, and we have always liked to kind of keep in touch with fantasy team challengers, as well as those that have finalist predictions in place and winners to receive the tennis racket that we give away. So if any of you want to see all the challengers' fantasy teams, I'm going to place a link above. It's around 4 minutes in or so to the last show that we did. There are the gist of the entries are sitting right there, right?
Most of them are. I think I even grabbed the ones that were an email and I put them. You'll see it under our name, but it's their picks, just in case somebody was curious. Yeah.
So stick a link above, somewhere around 3:35. Let me just jot that real quick. So if anyone wants to kind of chime in on why this person picked that person, or why they picked that finalist or winner. It's always a fun conversation, so all of us can join in on that there, even if we played or did not. All right? I had a quick note written here. We started writing this, Carla and I, early this morning, and it's, around 4 o'clock?
5 o'clock already.
5 o'clock Central Time?
Yes.
So we still have the Lorenzi kind of squeal-off match.
Exciting match, though.
Going on now, and we have the score here with us to stay in touch with that. But I wrote a note here earlier today. I'm a big football fan, and I read last night that Andrew Luck retired from football. Anyway, if you have any, passion for football as I do, this is a tennis channel. We won't get into that here. But hey, in comments below, what do you think about Andrew Luck retiring from football? I know Big Dog O2's got something to say about that.
Well, I think when you lose the desire to want to do something, it's time to leave the sport or anything that you do.
Interesting retirement.
Things, if something doesn't make you happy, why continue doing it?
Early on poll question: can anyone name, and regardless of sport, athletes that retired way before their career should have been over to move on to different things. Let's say
Justine Henin was one.
Justine Henin was one.
Definitely.
Andrew Luck. How about
Bjorn Borg was another one.
Bjorn Borg was another one. How about Michael Jordan the first time he retired? It's a good one, right?
I guess.
Okay. How about Barry Sanders, the running back for the Detroit Lions, right? Mm-hmm. Am I missing? I'm sure there's a lot of people I'm missing, but that's just a quick question. What professional athletes did you know that are really some of the best in their...
I think Safin retired early.
Murat Safin, maybe?
I thought too early for his career.
All right, anyway, just food for thought. But moving right in, is on the fantasy teams, there's a lot of great teams. I know a lot of us, including, and I wanted to have a couple shout-outs here, myself, curling, tennis, Dusan Jarmakanin, and Kasper, a.k.a. Dedseville in Poland, who I think now is traveling abroad. A lot of us went for players ranked or seeded, rather, outside of the top 20 to get extra points if they won a round or two. And I think between a lot of us, we lost Caroline Garcia today.
I did tell you guys don't pick that.
Ridiculous.
I think Furzy09 said, how could you pick that?
Jeez.
She has to be the most unstable mental tennis player out there.
Caroline Garcia was supposed to be my light bulb moment. I was planning on her winning 3 rounds, 2, maybe 3 rounds, getting myself, 4 to 6 points. Nada. She is out. Zero. Nothing. No dinero. Gone. Upset about that.
You were better off trying Jack Sock.
Jack
on the men's side.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Even though he lost the first set.
All right. So moving forward, for all of you that submitted teams for the fantasy teams and the tennis racket giveaway, keep up with it on your own. Again, I will keep up with all of it. I'm going to jump up real quick so I can show you. So I have the thick of all of our stuff here. All of the players, all of the teams, and keeping up with it the best that I can. And then on a separate sheet, I have all the fantasy teams, all the winners, etc. So everything is good to go. But sometimes when we get down to 1 or 2 points, hey, check my math at any time, but I do my best to do it multiple times throughout the day. And at this point right now, I think the only people that have lost anyone up to this point as of right now is, I think, Bear Wharton lost Camila Giorgi.
Yes, you lost Garcia.
And myself and Kasper, and I forget who the rest of us. Okay, I had Garcia, Flora Moore had Garcia, and Kasper, a.k.a. Dedseville, had Garcia. So we all lost her starting out. And then Bear Wharton lost Camila Giorgi. Sakari won that match.
I know why you picked her, Bear.
It's all good. It's all good. But keep up with your scores. But moving right into today's action. So segment number 1 is going to be begin with the women's draw, active news, active results, any upsets, any kind of lethargic type performances, and so forth.
We did have one woman that withdrew from the tournament, which we knew she was injured. She got to the final at the French Open, which was Marketa Vondrashova. She pulled out of the tournament. So, and also, a lot of you guys, I messaged you that in the men's side, Milos Raonic also pulled out of the tournament. So those of you that didn't get your pick, in, try to switch it. You are stuck with the lucky loser.
And we were up early and found out about this, and some of you that we reached out to saw that Raonic was that had pulled out and replaced their pick. I think there was a couple people that still were left with the lucky loser.
There were like 2 people.
So hey, if the lucky loser wins 1 round, then that's 2 good points still nonetheless. But let's jump right into the women's draw. They started with the bottom half of the draw today, so let's jump right into that.
Sure, let's start with right now currently playing Elina Svitolina is playing Whitney Osigwe from the USA. Currently, she is up 6-1, 6-5, 40-30. She has match point. I watched a few points in this match, and the first set pretty much looked like Svitolina was just too much for her. You could see the difference between a 16-year-old and someone that's been on the tour. Oh, she just won the match, by the way. You could tell it was too much for her. She still needs a few years under her belt to get some, experience.
Agree totally. Svitolina looked to be too much, and I understand the match is still going. It's never
done. It's done.
Svitolina took that.
Yeah.
However, on the flip side of things, I do know that Paolo Lorenzi right now is playing, and we'll get into this as well.
And he's up too.
To the young man, 16-year-old as well. So you mentioned that sometimes a veteran player can be too much for the 16-year-old. However, the 16-year-old young man, what is it, Schweigda? Southern California kid like myself.
Yeah, he has some cute videos. We'll talk about him in a bit.
But so you can't always say that the veteran is too much. Because
well, he's up 4-1 in the fifth, so he is too much.
But a good fight, but not quite as convincing as Osigwe versus Svitolina, though.
Well, I think also Svitolina is also number 5 seed in this tournament, has had many wins, titles, whereas Lorenzi really, he's not really done big things.
Good argument.
I think if the youngster was playing somebody like he was supposed to play, like Kevin Anderson, he was supposed to play Kevin Anderson, I think it would have been a different story, don't you think?
That's a great argument. I look, as much as I want to battle today, because I'm in a battling mood.
She was too much for her. She's good for this youngster, and we'll see a lot more. I mean, she has game, she has style, and I hope to see her. I like her.
And by the way, shout out to Carl over here. Hasn't slept. Again, the 5 kids, we have 3 of the 5 that are sick. 2 of those 5 are like really sick, so she hasn't slept.
I haven't slept the whole day, the whole night, and I'm going on the whole day.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, so we're good. The car went down with a big repair. The kids haven't slept, but we're getting down.
Yes, definitely.
Let's go.
Another match was actually I was pretty impressed by it. By the way, before we go to Venus Williams match, I do have a category today for the worst outfit, the best outfit, the biggest grunter. So there are several categories that I did today.
So wait a minute. Hold up. Sorry to interrupt. This is rare. Carla, maybe it's the lack of sleep from last night. Maybe it's the lack of sleep, but now Carla has come up with categories. This is new news to me.
Yeah.
What are the categories?
I've got the most interesting outfit, the best outfit, the worst serve, the softest serve, the coolest coach I saw, the worst men's grunt, and the quickest match, and the best match today.
Is that just for today? Or is that in historical?
Just for today.
Okay, go ahead. Let's go.
Okay. Do you want me to give you the... No, well, we'll talk about the matches first.
All right, let's do it. Let's roll.
Next match that I actually was impressed by was Venus Williams. She came out and she beat Saizai Zhang from China. We saw Saizai Cheng win a title this year. Who was it against? It was your favorite girl, Sabalenka, that she beat. She won her first title, but Venus just rolled 6-1, 6-0. She came out to play. Her outfit didn't look too bad, but she didn't quite qualify for this category. And she will be playing against Elena Svitolina. So this will be a tough match, a good second round to watch. And I think Svitolina better watch out if Venus plays the way she did today.
For all of you that picked Venus Williams on your fantasy team, including myself, let's go. We dropped 2 points in the bag today, so it's basically like we picked someone that's already been through a second round. So I was really happy to see Venus win. For me, that kind of offset the fact that I only took 2 women in the top 20. So I lost 1 and I got 1 of them back. So if I would have taken 4 women, it would have been the same as if I took a 2 at this point with the Venus win. So I'm happy for the Venus Williams win. She did look lively today.
She had a lot of energy. She came.
Yeah.
She was 1, 2, 3 today.
Boom, boom, bam.
Definitely.
She was on point today. If I was Svitolina, I'd be careful here.
Definitely. The only reason I'm mentioning this match, it was not a notable match. We didn't get a chance to see it, but it's because it's your girl, Monica Puig from Puerto Rico, who got dropped by her coach, Kumar Murray. She got beat today by Rebecca Peterson.
Swedish girl.
6'3", 6'3". No more Monica Puig. At least she can always hold the Olympic medal.
She's got a gold medal.
There you go. I mean, hey, I couldn't win tournaments, but, at least I got the Olympic medal.
Okay, so that makes for a good question. How important is Monica Puig's gold medal?
We already talked about this.
Well, I understand that, but for the new viewers, how important is Monica Puig's gold medal in the grand scheme of things? I think it's relatively super important.
For her country or for the United States?
Carla thinks it's not very important.
It's not, but for Puerto Rico, it's huge because the only tennis player I remember before her that actually was a great doubles player was Gigi Fernandez. She was a double specialist in the 80s and the 90s. Her and Natasha Zverev, remember Natasha? They dominated doubles. So that's the only player. I would rather have, though, Gigi Fernandez's career than Monica Puig's career.
I think this is a little bit of the pot calling the kettle black here, only because of this. No, hold on. I think one of the only reasons why Roger Federer still continues to play is for him to attain a gold medal, in which he came shy of.
No.
On the flip side of that, it's important for him, but it's not important for anyone else.
Who said that it's important for him? The only reason Federer's playing because he wants to ensure no one passes his Grand Slams. You're telling me that he really wants to play for the Olympic golds, or he's using that as an excuse? Come on, Justin.
Maybe, but he would. You can't tell me that Roger Federer wouldn't like to add the Olympic gold to his toolbox.
Let me ask you guys: would you prefer having Monica Puig's career, or look up, for those of you who don't know, Gigi Fernandez's career? Look it up.
Well, I know these two. I would rather have Gigi Fernandez's career.
She didn't win an Olympic medal.
That's a no-brainer.
Just saying.
That's a no-brainer. But Gigi Fernandez was a veteran and hung around tour for a long time. Monica Puig, rather, has just kind of been around as a astonishingly beautiful girl.
I'll tell you something though. She could definitely use tennis. Like she could go into this if she knows Spanish, which I'm sure she does. She can go work for any Spanish tennis broadcast Spanish. I mean, her life will be set, no problem.
Yeah, she's good.
Plus, her boyfriend or fiance is a
hockey player. No, baseball player.
He's a baseball player.
Yeah.
So come on, yeah.
There you go.
All right, Diana Yastrenska from Ukraine. I know some of you had her beat Monica Niculescu. She had to battle it out 6-4, 1-6, 6-2. I only mention it because some of you guys have this match. She'll be facing Peterson. I think she'll get through to the next round.
Yeah, Yastrenska is a solid player and was a solid pick for a couple people that picked her. Nice pick, nice win. That's all I can say. Nice pick, nice win.
I'll go on because there's a lot of people that have not played. Johanna Konta, the 16 seed who I thought would go down to Daria Kasatkina from Russia, actually wins in 3 sets. 6-1, 4-6, 6-2. This was a dicey match. First set, Konta was on. Kasatkina was shanking a lot of balls. Second set, Kasatkina capitalized on Konta's mistakes, and she got down. She was fighting the umpire about a few points. And pretty much Kasatkina disappeared in the third set. Too bad for her.
Yeah, hated to see Kasatkina lose. I like Kasatkina a lot. Very reminiscent of when Carla plays. They played the same game. I really think, though, before I give up on
Kasatkina
as a whole, I really do think we will see more from Kasatkina.
She's only 21.
She's young. Yeah. We'll see more from her. And hopefully we see it as soon as next year.
Well, Konta will face Margarita Gasparin from Russia, who won today against Priscilla Hahn. Next match was a veteran who plays Samantha Stoja from Australia. The commentators were mentioning that this could be her last U.S. Open, but we didn't get any announcements, so I'm not sure. Maybe she changed her mind, but she got a beatdown from Ekaterina Alexandrova.
She got a beatdown.
6-1, 6-3. Here comes out this woman. Pow, pow. Has bigger muscles than him. Legs like this, but she can't do anything anymore. Not at least on the singles side. I'm sure she will get to a final in doubles. So maybe she should stick to doubles because she is very good in doubles.
Carla just busted out when she came out. Pow, pow.
I was looking at her biceps. I was like, Justin, she's got bigger biceps than you.
Let's go. I would be far removed from myself to think that Stoja is done.
She can play doubles. She can play doubles.
Yeah, I was going to say exactly those words. Maybe we've seen the last of her singles matches. I still would beg to differ there. But we definitely have not seen the last of Sam Stoja's doubles. Didn't they just win a major this past Australian Open in her own country, neglected?
That's why I'm saying
they cut the soap opera commercials in Australia because they had to get to soap operas, but they neglected the fact that one of their very own just won the Australian Open doubles.
Pretty messed up.
I have a good feeling that Samantha Stoja will still be very much in the thick of things next year, if not for a year or two more to come.
Your number 27 seed goes down. Carolina Garcia from France goes down to Ons Jabeur from Tunisia. 7-6, 6-2. I told Justin, I don't know what you're thinking picking Garcia. She's never done well in Grand Slams. Okay, she did okay, I think, grass court, but still didn't get far enough. I don't know what you guys were thinking with that. I agree with Furzy09 completely.
We wanted, or I say we, there was 3 of us that lost Garcia. Flora Moore, Casper, and myself. Obviously, I didn't prearrange this agreement to pick this young lady with any of them. So there was 3 of us out there that had the same mindset. I think the mindset was, hey, we can get 2 points per match win from Garcia. She's expected to beat Jabeur. And much respect to the Tunisian girl Jabeur that won this match. She was expected to win another round and didn't win the first round. So big letdown. Good luck for me, or good news for me, is I had Venus. That basically kind of null and voided that loss and broke me back even. So as long as Venus continues to do well, then I feel like I'm still in good shape. But I'm sorry Garcia lost. I'm sorry that I picked her, because she was a huge letdown for myself and 2 others.
Yes. Next notable match that I watched, actually pointed, even though she pulled through, was Karolina Pliskova from the Czech Republic play another person from Czech to Czech. It's Teresa Martinkova, a qualifier. 7-6, 7-6. The first set, we watched them break each other. 1-1, 2-1, till it got to 5-all. At 5-all, finally, Pliskova held serve and won that set. Second set, Pliskova was up 3-1, and she let her opponent come back. They go to another tiebreaker. Not a good day for her on the court. Hopefully this was just a little hiccup, a little warm-up, but she could have lost this match. I thought she was going to lose.
I actually had a note here. When we were writing today's show, we kind of kept our space in a way, as we like to do. Because
they got cool tattoos, though, by the way. I don't like tattoos, but they had some pretty...
And your husband's loaded with them.
I would never put a tattoo on me, because when I'm 80, if you put like a happy face, it's going to look like a droopy face. Just saying.
No, you just get a tattoo that'll stretch out. You get like something like, think of a word like hot, H-O-T. And then like when you're like 80, it stretches out to like hoot. So you have to go to like hot and like something.
Well, I don't know if Czech girls or maybe European girls, they love the tattoos, but they both had, I think her opponent had an arrow, and then she had a tattoo in the back, and then we know Pliskova has a huge one on the arm, and then on the leg matching.
Actually, let me rephrase that. You would go ahead and get it long, like now. Like you could have whatever, like a big word down your bicep, right? And then when you get older, it wrinkles up a little bit, so it shrinks. So actually, instead of going short and go long, you would want it to go long now and then go shorter. So can you think of something?
No, I don't want to. That's not wasting time.
All right. Anyway, yeah, it's a waste of time.
So a lot of you guys picked Pliskova to, I think some of them picked to win. I don't know about that after watching her first match.
Look, Pliskova looks shaky. Let's be real.
Her next opponent is Bulk Vades, which is a qualifier who beat Bernara Pera. So she has a good possibility of moving on.
Bulk the Georgian player.
Yes, she's 21 years old. I mean, so her draw is pretty open. Garcia loses. Who she's going to face? Sasnovich, Jabeur. So she has a good chance moving to round 4.
Quickly, I had a note written here during the Pliskova match. I wrote, quote, Pliskova looks extremely shaky. Her countrywoman, Martinkova, right? Mm-hmm. Didn't look great, but she played a heck of a match the entire time. However, my note that I wrote here was we've gone through an entire set, and neither one of them have held serve. Pliskova gets to the tiebreaker, takes the first set in the tiebreaker, but up until that point, neither one of them held serve.
No, it was at 5-5 first set, and then Pliskova finally holds serve 6-5, and then her opponents hold serve 6-6, and then they play the tiebreaker.
I know that both young ladies faced 9 and 10 break points each. I think one went 6 for 9 break points, and the other one went like 6 for 10 break points. You're not going to win a major facing 10 break points in 2 out of 3 sets. That's quite shabbish.
She did show some emotion, which was good, because usually we see her, she looks like a zombie. But today she was actually trying to fire herself, which was good to see. Next match, I only mention it because I think one person has her, is Karolina Muchova. She defeats Elena Rybakina from Kazakhstan. So I probably said that wrong, and someone's going to get on me about that. But she will face Sue Shea, who someone else picked, who beat Yana Sepelova. So Sue Shea moves on in 3 sets and will face Muchova.
Sue Shea always tends to find a way to get by with the 2 hands on either side.
Good for her.
I mean, somehow, just this little thing. She's just this tiny thing that hits 2 hands on both sides, and somehow she continues to push through. Quite amazing. I would never coach that. I would never even want to really watch too much of it, but somehow she keeps finding a way.
Another match, I'm only going to mention it because she's a 22 seed, moves on. Petra Martic beats Tamara Zidansek. Good for her, and she will face Anna Bogdan, who took out Harriet Dart.
A lot of you guys picked Martic.
Yes.
I picked her as well. That's a good 2 points right there, and I think Martic will move along quite a bit more.
Swiatek, Iga Swiatek pulls a win over Ivana Jorovic 6-0, 6-1. Will face the feisty Anastasia Sevastova, who defeated Eugenie Bouchard 6-3, 6-3. We watched this match. Yikes. I can only say that Bouchard is not the player she used to be many years ago. Her outfit was horrendous. She's in that category today. Horrendous. She was going for her shots in the first set. They were sailing out. She wasn't patient enough. She's facing an opponent that said in her interview that she loves hitting cross-court shots because she knows that her opponent will not hit down the line. It's tougher to hit down the line if she's going cross-court. So give it back to her. And she can slice. You know, she has good feel. She can come to the net. I actually like Sevastova after her interview. She's feisty, but she's a smart player. They ask her, have you seen your draw? And she's like, of course. Who doesn't? Who doesn't see their draw? It's right there.
I couldn't agree more on Sevastova. We've always given her kind of a hard time because she can always manage to give her box a hard time.
Well, her coach is her boyfriend, so I could see why.
Sevastova won today. She did win convincingly against Bouchard. By the way, you had a category that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, that was one of the ugliest outfits that Nike ever came out with.
Yeah, I wasn't really prompted for the category, but I wrote a note here that Bouchard's outfit was one of the worst I've seen. The worst outfit I've ever seen, honestly, and I'm a big Serena fan.
Oh, it was last year.
But it was last year, Serena Williams' outfit.
That tutu.
It looked like she was going to a ballet recital, and then she had these shoes on that looked like,
for Halloween.
Looked like they were like, looks like she was going to play soccer, and like her shoes came up halfway up her like.
She looked like she was wearing cowboy boots with a ballet outfit.
Or looked like shin guards in soccer, and then she had the tutu on for ballet or something. That was the worst outfit ever. But the one Bouchard had on today was, I didn't really get it.
I don't think I'm gonna go spend $100 and Nike's trying to promote that because I saw it on Sit Lavina, a different version, and it's just ugly. It looks like someone grabbed paint and went, and it looked like someone cut half of the shirt or like in an angle. It was just awful to look at.
Yeah, so for your category worst outfit, the worst outfit I saw today was that one.
Yeah, she wins. She's the worst outfit.
Was Bouchard's outfit.
Absolutely.
Second of all, Sevastova won today and should have won convincingly, and she did. But she still found a way to yell at her box or look over there.
Her boyfriend.
She still found a way to do that. The only problem I have with Sevastova is she has a formidable opponent with Iga Swiatek in the next round. I like Sevastova a lot more after having watched her interview, like that you just mentioned. She's kind of chill.
She's real.
She's kind of cool.
Real. Yeah.
She's laid back. Sounds like a lot of legendary tennis players that I've had a chance to listen to or talk to. That are just students of the game in a way, and she is definitely that. But I have a hard time believing that she will go through Iga Swiatek easily.
But didn't she make the semifinals last year? She said she made the semifinals last year.
Okay, real quick question and we'll move forward. Sevastova has Swiatek next. The Polish girl. Who wins that match, Carla?
I'd give it to Sevastova just because she has more experience and she knows how to dig herself out of problems.
First of all, okay, let's say she gets through that. By the way, I think that Swiatek wins that match.
Okay.
But let's move forward. Let's say Sevastova wins that and then ends up facing Petra Martic. Who wins that match?
Definitely, I'd give it to Sevastova, which is why I didn't pick Martic.
I disagree on both.
Okay, well, you did pick Garcia, so I think I'll believe myself more than yourself.
I will take that in stride, but I would rather have Martic or Swiatek on my squad at this point than Sevastova.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I mean, and maybe I'm wrong, surely I am, but I don't think so.
Moving on. I thought this match was sad. Made me question women's tennis a lot. Angelique Kerber from Germany, the 14th seed and Grand Slam champion, loses to Kristina Mladenovic from France 7-5, 0-6, 6-4. I could not believe how soft both of these ladies were serving. There was one serve that was about 62 miles per hour on Kerber's racket. It looked like she was almost pushing the ball over. And sometimes Mladenovic would not, she would just give it back to her. A lot of the shots were short. They were like, I felt like I was watching 12-year-olds play tennis. You know, when they push the ball back and forth.
Moon balls sometimes.
Moon balls. I don't know what happened to Kerber's shots, but She seems to hit everything lefty open. She never steps into it anymore. It's like she's lost a lot of power in her shots. They're not effective as they used to be. And Mladenovic, she's just all over the place. I'm sure Saji Bajin must be questioning herself, like, why am I sitting in this box? I chose the wrong student. I should go back to...
She won the match, though.
She won the match, but it's not a Kerber that we saw win Wimbledon last year. It's a different Kerber. Something's going on. By the way, she did get voted for, I would think, the best outfit. I found it to be, like, pretty fun.
Who?
I like her outfit.
Whose outfit?
Kerber.
Okay, the Adidas
The neon
outfit.
green,
okay,
you know, it was just clicking. I just like her outfit.
I wasn't a huge... I like the outfit, but I wasn't super... I wasn't a big fan of the pleated skirt. It was kind of 80s just on the skirt, but I like the overall outfit.
Well, yeah, it was like Madonna. You could see the back, you know, you could see the sports bra and stuff. It was like fishnet.
Kind of like crimped hair, too.
Yeah, it was, but her match was just, her serve was so bad. I've never seen her push a serve. I think the highest serve we saw was 82 miles per hour on both sides.
Yeah, it was definitely a match that I would consider lackluster. It does seem to me, though, every time that there is a student or player that has anything to do with two coaches. Sasha Bajin, the former coach of Naomi Osaka, hitting partner with Serena Williams, and now the coach of Mladenovic. It seems like anytime they're on the sidelines or in a player's box, the camera is on them equally as much as the same as Patrick Mouratoglou, Serena's coach and whatever. I'm still not even sold on either one of these guys are great coaches. It just seems like every time we see them, they've got their beautiful shirts on,
that's why
and their beautiful hairstyle, and their
that's
white
why I voted
glistening
him
teeth.
today as best looking coach because he was.
Who was?
Saji Bajin. He had his tan.
Best look. He had his sleeves rolled
He had
up.
his sleeves like this, and his. I think he must have done some push-ups. It was
no
like
push-ups. Yeah.
And he was like this. His chest was out. He had his hair all perfect. He even beat the beautiful Beer Fognini today.
Yeah, so we're sitting here watching.
He's like this.
Who Mladenovic.
Yes.
So she's playing this match, and you know, and all of a sudden they keep panning this camera over to Sasha Bajin, and he's sitting there like looking like he just came up doing push-ups.
Like he went to a tanning salon.
Yeah, it looks like he got a spray tan out from his top of his lip all the way down to the bottom of his lip. But like the spray tan started here on the top of the lip, came all the way around his rear end, came back up the bottom lip. He was totally tan. And then when he smiled...
Rear end? Did you say rear end?
The spray tan started on the top of the lip. So if there's a machine like a car wash that if you were laying down and you went through it, it would start here. All the way around your rear end, all the way around your toes, and stop right here at the bottom lip. A complete wrap. It looks what it looked like.
Even the hair match.
Even the hair. And then no sooner than...
And gel. You could see the gel just glistening.
Yeah, and then no sooner do they see this wise guy, they show some booth with the guy Patrick Mouratoglou that's sitting up there with his perfectly gelled hair, the nice.
It was shiny. It was shiny,
glistening, and
like you based turkey. That's how he looked.
Yeah, and so they went from rolled up sleeves to dude that's like, well, I don't know, and I think she's playing good, and then and then if she does her intensity, then she just does her intensity. We just try to roll with it and to see where she is going with this. I'm like, what the heck did you just say? And then they flash it back to Bajin with his spray tan and his teeth. And then it's like, well, and then back into the booth. Well, if she just stays cool and she stays calm, then we'll talk about it, and then just whatever. Moving forward.
But that match was not a good match. I have to say, for me, I have a category, and I'm saying the categories as we go. The worst match had to be that one. That one followed by Pliskova. But they won today. That's the worst match. Kerber and Mladenovic. Worst match. Her next opponent is Fiona Ferro from France, who defeated Daria Gavrilova. Next match, we're almost done with the women's, is Marie Sakkari, who defeated Camila Giorgi from Italy 6-1. 6-0. I guess Georgie was tired after playing the tournament at NYJTL Bronze Finals. She made the finals there.
A lot of you picked Sakkari. Did I pick Sakkari? I don't think so. No, I did not. Sakkari should have beaten Georgie. I know a lot of people get wrapped up in Georgie's kind of Barbie doll looks in a sense.
She looks like a porcelain doll.
But I mean, it was something that was thought about for myself to pick Sakkari, but I didn't think that she was that much better than Georgie in a sense. I thought it was risky, but not a shock here. The better player moved on.
Yes, absolutely. She will face Shuai Peng from China, who defeated Barbara Lepchenko from the USA. Another one today was the number 2 seed, Ashley Barty, which I think I had Wildlife who sent me a message saying, oh, I'm worried about Barty. I said, don't worry. You know, sometimes champions, they don't start out great. She lost the first set, 6-1 to Serena Diaz, and then came back 6-3 and won 6-2. We watched the first set. She looked flat. Her slices were not effective. She was missing a lot of shots, but you never saw her really getting mad at herself. You know, she always kept her composure. Her opponent had one of the worst serves besides Kerber. I've never seen a serve come all the way back here and then all the way around here in pro tennis. I've seen it in juniors, but it was just not a good serve. There was no pop to it. And it made me think, why isn't Barty stepping into this serve? Well, Barty figured it out. She didn't play her best game, even though she won the match. She started hitting her backhand, less slice, started being more aggressive and taking her opponent out of the game. Her opponent was not out hitting her. She was just getting the ball back. That was it.
Barty has an exceptional way of staying calm.
Yeah, never saw her get mad.
She was a cricket player. Again, when you play a team sport or any sport for that matter, and I hear she was a very good cricket player at that. But you have a way of staying cool and calm, and she epitomizes that. Barty is an exceptional athlete, especially in terms of court conduct. The reason why I chose Barty for the very first time on a fantasy team, I even selected Barty, if I remember correctly, to be my winner, right? No, I had Barty and Osaka with Osaka winning, but I have Barty making the final. I don't just pick someone because they can whack the ball around. Any bozo can whack the ball around on a tennis court. It's how you can control and variety and use slicing and dicing, change it up, hit power tennis, change up tactics, hit to the forehand, hit to the backhand, throw in the drop shot, slice and dice, chip and charge, whatever you want to do. And Barty can do that. Hence why I picked her to go to the final. But for me, Barty wasn't really scaring me with the first set.
I think that we'll see a lot. Yeah, I think she just didn't come out well. Sometimes you have those bad days. You know, you just can't play your game, and I think she'll be fine. Her next opponent is Lauren Davis, by the way.
So we do have someone out there, by the way, that chose Lauren Davis on their fantasy team. What's up, Dave Raines? That's a big pick. I think he will be here from Cincinnati in a couple of days, so we look forward to having him on the show as well. Just a couple quick notes as we finish the women's. I think that was it for you on the women's.
Yes.
I did have a note here. Petra Martic, which we've already discussed, moves on and looks good. Is Samantha Stosur done? We talked about that as well. It's a great question. What do you think? And why do we have to continue to look at Patrick Mouratoglou and Sasha Bajin? So I was on your brainwave with that. My last note here was Venus Williams looked rather lively today. Watch out.
She did, plus I noticed a lot of the colors for this U.S. Open was neon green, black, and white. We saw a lot of Nike coming out with these colors. I thought pretty neat, you know?
All right, taking a 2-second break before we get into the men's. All right, so we took a quick break between the men's and the women's. As usual, the first rounds that we do, if you follow this channel for a while, men's and women's, when we first started doing this show, which was Wimbledon last year, not this past year, but the year before, we were going like 4 hours to get through all the matches. So we really tried to bring it down to the most notable matches, our most notable thoughts. Then as we move forward to try to break down matches more and players more, where they're from, what their tactics are, what they can do better or worse. But with 64 matches on the men's side, 64 on the women's side, a half each day, it gets long-winded. So we always ask all of you to comment in comments and let's talk about it when we're not all having to stay right tuned to the camera.
Right.
All right, so let's jump right into the men's. Carla, you've been writing all day, notes, scores, etc. I have some as well, but I'm going to let you start it off.
Well, we did watch Novak Djokovic, the #1 seed from Serbia, take out Roberto Carvalles Baena. First set was okay, a little bit of a challenge for Djokovic. After that, his opponent pretty much disappears, 6-1 in the second, and then Djokovic takes it out 6-4. I didn't notice anything different about Djokovic, injury-wise. He looked to be the same Djokovic to me.
Yeah, Djokovic...
He took care of business. 1, 2, 3, that's it.
Yeah, Djokovic got his warm-up match in. There's no need to really discuss this much further.
Not an interesting match, honestly. Next match that I'm a little bit sad about, I didn't get to watch because thanks to Tennis Channel, they didn't put it on. So I guess I had to pay extra to see this. I hate to say that, but Denis Kudla from the USA takes out Janko Tipsarevic from Serbia, which this was his last U.S. Open.
You know, I heard about that. I think the likes of Janko Tipsarevic, who I think is a phenomenal player, he's a tattoo guy. I like that guy a lot. I'm kidding about that. He's a tattoo guy, though. So I feel those tattoo guys and girls, by the way.
I like his tattoos. I just won't put it on me.
I think Janko Tipsarevic could be a wonderful coach.
Yeah.
He has the look of a coach. He carries himself. He doesn't say a lot. You know, he showed his emotional flashes over the years. But I think Tipsarevic would make for a good coach. So best of luck to Tipsarevic moving forward. However, didn't we miss the fact that Sam Querrey lost? Didn't Sam Querrey lose?
He just lost to Londero Londero from Argentina. So Djokovic will face Londero. Did it really matter, honestly?
Really didn't, but Djokovic would have had a harder time with Querrey than he will with Londero.
I don't think it mattered.
Yeah,
on grass, yes, not on hard court.
I'm assuming Djokovic will beat Londero.
3 sets, same thing as...
Yeah, I don't... Look, I'll take a bet with anybody. My bet to all of you is that Novak Djokovic will not lose more than 6 games in total to Londero. I don't think it'll be any worse than 6-2, 6-2, 6-2 Djokovic. Okay. Anybody want to take that action? I'm in.
No. Next player is Dusan Lajovic from Serbia. Takes out Steve Darcis in 3 sets, 7-5, 6-3, 6-3, and he will face Denis Kudla from the USA. I was hoping to see Tipsarevic and Lajovic go at it, but that's not the case. I think that Lajovic will get through Kudla and will eventually face Djokovic.
The positive note here is that even though we lost Tipsarevic, we still have another IC. We have Lajovic. I think Lajovic probably would have gotten the best of Tipsarevic anyway, and I think that it was destiny for Djokovic, another IC, to meet either Lajovic IC or Tipsarevic IC. I think we were destined for a third-round IC, and yes, that's last name ending. So either way, I think Novak will safely land in the 4th round and be the only remaining IC out of the given 3 ICs.
There's still quite a
Wish my last name was ending with IC.
There's still quite a few matches that have not played. We're still waiting for Wawrinka to play. Her catch is playing right now with Chardy, and they split sets are on a tiebreaker. So we'll see what happens there.
Those are big matches too, because these guys are hanging out in the same section of the draw. So I mean, look. I like Laszlo Jiri hanging down in there.
Well, he lost. Kecmanovic destroyed him. Destroyed him. 3 sets.
But what I'm getting at is Laszlo Jiri is a really good player.
On clay. That's why I didn't pick him on hard court. I knew Kecmanovic would get through him, and he did in 3 sets pretty quickly, too. He moves on and will face, to me, what I found to be the most exciting match, which was Pablo Lorenzi from Italy against Sakari Zvajda from the USA, the 16-year-old Californian boy who is pro. He decided to turn pro. Not a tall guy, about 130 pounds. It says he's 5'9", but I think we have to disagree on that.
He's about 5'4".
Yeah, he looked like about to be my height. You know, very young, very good game. I did watch some YouTube videos about this youngster. He was 5 years old, whacking the ball. It reminds me of my little guy, long hair with the hat. The racket was bigger than him. His dad is a coach, is his coach still, and a former college player. He's from your neck of the woods, La Jolla, California. Played in San Diego. He is ranked 1,427. Earned a wild card here because he won an ITF in Kalamazoo. He went a different route from most juniors.
Can anybody tell me where the city Kalamazoo is? Isn't that Michigan? I think it's Michigan. Jeopardy question.
Well, he decided not to play junior tournaments, which I like that because, you know, I always like to get ideas and listen to people's, you know, stories and decide what I want to do with my kids that I think have potential. And I like the fact that his dad decided to put him in smaller challenger tournaments because he figured he would feel the pressure more and it would count more. So that's a good idea. Kind of gave me a light bulb, an idea today. I was like, okay.
And I agree with the light bulb. Yeah. Couldn't agree more.
I was like, that. I like that. I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, look, whether it's amateurs, pros, whatever, some people just don't do well with losing tournaments or that are insignificant in a way. Let's use some of the junior tennis that were around, Carla, the UTR and all this other stuff. A lot of it's just
confusing to me. It really is.
But a lot of it's just propaganda and fodder to give the parents something to talk about. Train the kids, get them to dig deep, get them to fight. Stop worrying about the country club tournaments that are really meaningless. And I mean, we have some people sometimes that make their kids, in a sense, kind of bail on the match or quit so they don't affect their ratings and stuff. And I think that's not conducive to the development of any player. And it's not just one player. We hear this from a lot of people.
It's because
it's not just one. It's many.
The UTR system has done it where, like, if some player beats you, gets some games from you, and you're the higher ranked player, well, you lose points now in your rating, which I think is poo-poo. I hate saying that.
Yeah, I mean, if you quit, you lose. That's it. But I guess there's some loophole in that if you retire before the match.
Which is why it gave me a good idea, you know, with my 10-year-old daughter and then the kids that come after that, you know what, that's a great idea because you have college players playing these tournaments. You've got the top juniors playing these tournaments. Pros that are trying to make it in the tour. So they're feeling the pressure here. Good for this kid. He lost today in 5 sets. He was cramping, won the first 2 sets. Third set, Lorenzi pulls it out with his nasty grunting. I could not stand that grunting. I wanted to whack him with the racket. We saw this kid struggle with the cramping. You can tell his body is adjusting. He's growing. He lost in the last set 6-2, but good for this kid. There's nothing to feel ashamed of and kind of gives American tennis a little bit of hope. With that last name, I'm sure his dad is, you know, came from hard knocks training. So
yeah, again, just to finish off the UTR thing, the tennis rating system that they have in place at this point now. Again,
they even give pros.
I understand that, but there's a far cry difference between a pro and a current. I think if there's any system out there that entertains the idea if you quit, then your rating won't be effective. I think it's a crap system, and the loophole needs to be fixed. No one likes a quitter.
You know, there was a big national kids tournament, 18-16, and I think they had half of the draw because they didn't want to lose their rankings because they just quit. They didn't even play their matches because they didn't want to play a lesser player, and if that lesser player got a few games from them, their points went down. That's sad.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine, I mean, if there was any type of, I don't know, I was going to say warfare or something, or I don't want to talk about battling, but can you imagine if a football team, I was going to say warfare, but that's stupid. Can you imagine if there was a football team on the field and half the team was just like, you know what, I don't want to affect my rating out here, and I'm just going to quit, and just quit on the whole team. The UTR has a systemic malfunction, and that is with allowing people to quit.
Therefore, so
I can get down 6-0 and 5-0, and then when I realize I'm going to get beat, I can quit. And as long as I say I retired, then my ranking's not affected. I call that subpar, and I call that quitting, which I think is just whack. Second thing about the kid, Zvajda, no, that's Djokovic's coach. The kid you were just talking about. Zvajda, yeah.
Zachary, yes.
He's from La Jolla. I was raised just around the corner. I used to eat Reuben sandwiches at the La Valencia Hotel in La Jolla, so a lot of good memories there. We wish him the best. Encinitas, we trained at Encinitas. La Jolla is not far. Michael Chang was there.
He's got a good game, by the way. He does think out there. Very, I had great volley, serve. I can't imagine once he gets bigger, stronger, what he can do.
Yeah. So this kid makes everyone aware that size is not everything. They say he's 5'7" or 5'9" or whatever the number was, but he's not. He looks like he's packing every bit of about 5'2", and he's like
about 5'5".
And he can bring the pain. So hopefully his fitness and body grows into.
Lorenzi has to go like this. I got out of that one with his grunting. Horrible. Worst grunting. He will face Kecmanovic, by the way, and I think Kecmanovic will take out Lorenzi. Next match that I said would happen is the 11th seed Fabio Fognini goes down to Riley Opelka in 4 sets from the USA. Hey, one thing I did like about Fognini is that he had a style to walk. He was like just, walking slow, gliding through the court. But he lost the match. He did lose the match. I think we all knew Opelka was going to win. He's in the USA. His serve is big on hard court, and Fognini I'm sure was not happy to see him in that first round.
A couple of you guys picked Opelka to win. You were rewarded by that pick, and all of you got 2 points from that. There was a lot of you that picked him.
Next opponent, Thomas Berdych, the veteran from the Czech Republic, goes down to another American kid, Jensen Brooksby from the USA. Berdych was a little bit injured in this match. You can tell he goes down in 4 sets. We learned that Jensen Brooksby is actually going to attend Baylor University. He will not accept the prize money because if he does, well, he forfeits his chances going to college. This is a good college, by the way. He's 18 years old. First time that he plays into the main draw, qualified for it, got into the main draw, wins his round, and will face Bashvili, which would be a tough match to win. I heard a lot of the commentators saying, I don't know if he was deciding, but they were saying, you know, he should really go to college, play at least 1 year, and then, you know, decide from there, get the experience if he wants to turn pro. As we know, pro life is not easy. It's expensive. And just because you won one round doesn't mean you're going to do good.
The dilemma between a young athlete accepting the money or not accepting the money is a simple answer. There's a simple solution. Do my parents have money or do they not have money? Baylor, by the way, is a stand-up university. Some really great football players have come out of there. I like quarterbacks a lot. I played quarterback growing up. Robert Griffin III played quarterback at Baylor. If I remember correctly, he was picked number 1 to go to, was it the Redskins? I didn't even write this.
He did go to Redskins.
And he's moved around a little bit. I thought maybe he went to the Redskins second, but it doesn't matter. But let's say you look at someone like RG3. By the way, our youngest son of 5 is Justin Davis Jr., which is JD2. I kind of got that thought from
JPD2.
JPD2. Yeah, I got a tattoo. JPD2 goes across my body. Anyway, am I lying? JDP2. JPD2. Tell me I'm lying. So anyway, if your parents have the dough, then you don't gotta go.
Then you don't got that rhymed.
But if your parents do have the dough, you know what I'm saying? You can just stay and don't go.
Let's be real. How many of our parents really can shell out that type of?
So money? This is what all I'm trying to say here is this kid Brooksby, and some people laugh when they say tennis is an expensive sport. I get it. It's not expensive to buy a $5 racket and a can of balls and to go hit out in the grass. But when you are trying to become a top 1,000 player in the world,
you're popping strings. You need
strings
shoes,
and rackets and shoes.
You need
and
to
coaches
pay for hotels. You need to pay for traveling. I'll give you an example, Justin.
Let me finish this thought real quick.
Okay.
So this kid Brooksby has the opportunity to either take his $58,000, which is a lump sum of money. For me, $58,000 would fix my car, buy my other 2 kids a car that I already need one, and then get me some insurance. But nonetheless, you get someone like this, $58,000 more than likely to his overall support group is probably not terribly much. And maybe I'm wrong here. However, I think for this kid Brooksby to take the $58,000 and not finish college is absolutely preposterous.
I don't think he's going to do that, though.
However, let's say you are John Doe from an area of poverty, and your parents are hurting like a lot of our parents are. I know, Carla, we can vouch for that, right? And life is tough. Life is a real son of a gun sometimes. Anybody want to disagree with that? Life is a mother. Okay, save the 4-letter words with the suffix on the end or whatever. Life is a real son of a gun. So when you push comes to shove, if the tides are a little bit different, in other words, if this is a different sport where there's a million people playing, you're just trying to fight for that one spot, and you finally get the opportunity, and then someone says, hey, you can leave and go in the first round right now and get $10 million right now. Are you going to take the $10 million right now? Right? You're going to take it. Mm-hmm. You're going to take it. However, if things are different, you know, hey, you've got a full ride at this glamorous university. If you're here, you probably are set anyway. Do you want the $58,000? You know, parents are probably like, man, you can keep that stuff because I got more than that in my checking account. There's a difference to it. Am I wrong?
Yeah, $58,000 is not enough to convince somebody to stay. You're going to spend that in half a year traveling.
However, if someone told me right now, give me 58 grand, 58 grand, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be like, what's up? Let's go. I'm going to roll with it. But when your last name's Brooksby and you're already accepted into Baylor and you're already at the U.S. Open, 58 grand ain't nothing to you. Just saying. And I might be wrong, but I don't think so.
To me, I agree with what the commentators were saying. The education, get the experience. You're going to play top players. If you win the NCAA, then, well, well, then think about going to pro.
I agree with that. However, just saying, if my mama's well-being depended on that, I would take the 58
But that's
grand.
why football players go to college 1 year and they take the money and roll with it. That's
just saying.
That's
so
different.
I feel those guys because that's reality.
You know,
most people don't roll up with the ability to have what they want when they want it and have the best of the best with sponsors or without, or the best coaches with sponsors or best. Most people have to grind from the bottom of the map. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if it were me, I'd take the 58 grand because I got to. But if I don't got to, and I got, the silver spoon, then I don't got to. But it's different in reality. It's different in reality.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that if you're a qualifier in this tournament and you qualify, they give you $300 a day as long as you're winning. $300 a day for spending money, and you get to ride the shuttle bus from the stadium, Billie Jean Stadium, to your hotel. So you save money. If you're in the main draw, you get $400 a day as long as you keep winning. And you get a chauffeur.
Spell that. CHAUFFEUR. Let's go. Let's go.
In a Mercedes-Benz driving you from the tennis courts to your hotel. And they get little extras, gift cards and blah, blah, blah.
I'd rather ride up in a bucket.
But then also I saw that if you're Nadal, Djokovic, Federer, you just got to do a little appearance and everything's paid for.
Give me my bucket. Shoot.
All right, next match. By the way,
Walk won't think nothing of it.
Brooksby's going to have a tough time with Bashvili. Bashvili did play 5 sets against my man, Martin Fucsovics.
I told you all about Bashvili before this tournament started, and I've talked about him. I've talked about Bashvili every tournament since we started doing this show. He can be dangerous, just like Borna Coric. We'll see what happens. Coric. We'll see what happens with these guys, but both these guys, Borna Coric as well as Bashvili, can be dangerous. Yep. Watch out.
All right, next match would be Daniil Medvedev, who takes out Prajnesh Gunneswaran, 6-4, 6-1, 6-2. Pretty quick match. He did have a medical timeout after winning the second set for his back. Maybe he was sore from playing a lot of tennis. By the way, I like Prajnesh's game. He had a pretty decent game. He's a 29-year-old. Knows how to volley. Lefty on top of that. Good game.
A lot of good points there. Jonathan, my oldest son, and I have watched Gunneswaran play quite a few times, and we both enjoy his game as well. So
yeah, I do like his game.
Good for him. It was a fun match. Medvedev too much.
Yes, I agree. Next match, Goffin. A lot of you guys picked David Goffin. He won in 4 sets. He beats Corentini Mutet from France. Also, Borna Coric from Croatia wins in 3 sets. He moves on, and he will face off your other dude, Dimitrov, who takes out and wins his first round. Yay! Against the veteran Andrea Seppi. He finally wins a round. Wow. So
everyone laughed at me for the last 6 majors about picking Dimitrov that I ultimately lost. Well, finally I get a win with the guy. Actually, I think I got 2 rounds out of him at the French, I think.
I don't know that he's going to beat Coric.
Yeah, the dilemma here for me is I'm gonna give myself an excuse is that I did not realize that Borna Coric was this close to Dimitrov, or I would have not picked Dimitrov, but I did. I think Coric wins the match, Coric, but I do hope Dimitrov wins it simply because I can get another 2 points that almost nobody else has except me. And maybe it's just dumb me, but I picked him, and I would love those 2 points.
I think some people have Christian Garin from Chile. He moves on, defeats the American Christopher Eubanks in 5 close sets. He will face Alex de Minaur, who defeated Pierre Hughes Herbert in 4 sets. So this should be a good match. Some of you guys have de Minaur, and others have Garin. So we'll see. Somebody's going to lose somebody tomorrow, or the next day, I mean.
Look, quality wins by both players here. That match, by the way, de Minaur versus Garin, that's going to be a good match. I look forward to that match. I'm going to give the edge to de Minaur, even though if I had to choose who I would want to win, I would say I would want Garin to win because there are a whole lot of you that have de Minaur out there at 2 points a bang if he wins. So I'm hoping for the Garin win, but I think de Minaur will win.
This was voted the quickest match of the day was Kei Nishikori, your 7th seed, won 6-1, 4-1 due to retirement. We watched him play against Marco Trugioletti from Argentina. Poor guy. He qualified for the tournament. He's gone through a lot of stuff. in his tennis career. I think we've talked about him before, where people stopped talking to him because they thought he ratted people out for gambling in tennis or throwing matches. His back was hurting. You can tell he could not move. He had to retire. I thought that there was a rule in tennis that if you retire, you don't get your prize money.
Yeah.
Is that rule true? Can someone confirm that? Because I thought that they did a rule that if you withdraw from your first round, you do not get your prize money.
I think it depends on the circumstances and how it unfolded. Same brainwave. Again, I have to give you props for that.
I felt so bad for this guy. I was like, play on, because, he's one of those journeymen that struggle to make it in tennis.
Yeah, so we were in kind of our corners in a way, putting this down on paper, and one of my notes here, I just flipped it to the page. My first note was Marco Trungelliti, and I hope I'm pronouncing that okay. Trungelliti. The same person that was, again, wrapped up for maybe snitching and so forth about some sports betting, and again, I won't get into all that. We've discussed that on previous shows. But I wrote here prize money alert, and I only wrote prize money alert because this year I know we've had the Georgian / American player, Anna Tatishvili, and we've had Bernard Tomic that have had their prize money stripped from them completely in the first rounds of tournaments, majors. I think back on appeal, and I think Bernard Tomic lost his entirely. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Bernard Tomic's match was much more hard fought than that. Again, surely he was hurting, and maybe so, maybe not. But I know that the match was 6-1 Nishikori within about, maybe I'm exaggerating this, a couple of minutes.
He called the medical trainer.
Trainer came out, and then all of a sudden 4-1, we're done. I don't know if that constitutes 58 grand, and then maybe so, maybe not.
He did qualify for it.
But hey, but again, think about that. Here's Anna Tatishvili. Boom, your winnings are gone. She did get hers back on appeal, and then you got Tonic. You're done. You got a history for this. You're out. So, here this is. Should there be a prize money alert here? If you don't know what I'm talking about, then forget about it. But if you do know what I'm talking about, mention it. What do you think? Is there enough effort here for 58 grand? I mean, geez, I'm just saying. Think about that. You're at the end of the men's stuff, right?
Yes.
A second note I only had very few notes written for the men's. Number one, I had the Marco Trungelliti retirement, 6-1, 4-1. It's 58 grand. I mean, okay.
That's a lot for him.
It's a lot, man. That's a lot, man. I'm not hating.
And he's traveling all the way from South America. Or I think he lives in Spain, actually. I don't know.
Number two, once again, Jim Courier, the commentator. Again, if you don't know who Jim Courier is, he's won multiple Grand Slams, French Opens, I think, basically. But every time there's a match that I see him commentate now, it seems like it doesn't matter what match it is, women's, men's, whatever, he finds a way to bring up Nick Kyrgios. Every match. And look, I'm not a huge Nick Kyrgios fan. I just believe giving someone credit when they're not even around and someone's talking behind their back to the world. So just, not terribly long ago, we were watching a Kyrgios match. He just started, and he's like blaspheming this guy. This guy's a mental case. This guy needs mental help. This guy, blah, 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 blah. And the match hadn't even started. You're already dogging the guy.
I just have to ask, how could any of the commentators say mentally, we're not doctors. How could we diagnose him? Maybe was McEnroe, did he need mental help? I mean...
Do you need mental help, Jim? Because I don't know.
No, I'm not talking about...
Let me finish this thought because we're going too long. This one got under my skin because here we are, we're about to watch, and I really think it was right before the young 16-year-old kid in Lorenzi started playing. Jim Courier automatically started talking out of nowhere. Kyrgios isn't even playing. He's not even he always talking about the Kyrgios, by the way. Well, let's not even bring him up because he needs mental help and all this stuff. And even the commentator that was with him, and I don't know who it is, but I wish I had a high five for that guy. Even the commentator that was commentating with him looked at him and was like, well, I didn't know we were doctors now. But I'm kind of on board with Kyrgios. And maybe it was food for thought for everybody else. But maybe it is that Jim Courier now is obsessed with the guy, and that's his way of getting off, is to keep saying that Kyrgios needs mental help.
There's a rumor that Becker wants to coach Kyrgios.
Good. Look, all I have to say, Courier, if you're out there and it gets you off by continuously bringing up this young man that's trying to find his way. Obviously, you found your way. You're in a booth making millions of dollars a year with your slick hair like Sasha Bajin and talking out the side of your ass. But I don't think it's in your best interest to keep telling some kid to the globe that he needs mental help. I think that makes you sound like a schmuck, and I think the Tennis Channel...
But is it cease and desist?
Or I think ESPN or the Tennis Channel hush that dude up. Because, look, again, I'm going to keep my mouth shut here, but don't go around preaching to the globe that some child needs mental help. I know you say he's 24, 25, he's a grown man. He's a freaking kid to me. Anyway, hush your mouth, man, or just stop hating. I have a feeling if Courier met Kyrgios prime in prime, Kyrgios would wipe his butt with the floor. Anyway, weak move, Jim Courier. This is the second time in so many weeks where you have demeaned someone saying they needed mental help for all the global tennis fans to lap it up. I give you the double thumbs down and word of the day. Boom. Take it. Get rid of it. See ya. Anyway, my second note I had was Tomas Berdych goes down. Is it time for Tomas Berdych to retire?
I don't know. I follow him on the social media thing. He's a great-looking guy. He had a great outfit on. He has a beautiful wife. He obviously loves doing a lot of things. I think if he retired, he would be fine. I'm sure he could find any type of tennis job. He'll be fine.
I love Tomas Berdych, one of the best players that never won a major.
Yeah.
Right?
Agreed.
We talked about that.
Agreed.
Tomas Berdych was stopped by Rafael Nadal, if I remember correctly, in a Wimbledon final.
Yes.
And that was a shoulda, coulda, woulda. The fourth note I had written down, the beautiful beard. Fabio Fognini himself did not look so beautiful today. We all talked about that. He got what was coming for him, the big server on hard court with the U.S. crowd. Not that countries make any difference in this game. That's a global international language.
It would have been Clay.
But he had home field advantage.
Yeah, he did.
I did not see Riley Opelka drinking a Red Bull after the match.
Did not, no.
5. Paolo Lorenzi has a pretty fierce grunt.
I'm sure he's going to get beat tonight, though, by Sharapova.
Paolo Lorenzi sounds like he's getting beaten with the broad end of a blunt object every time he hits a tennis ball. Like he could hit a drop shot. Sounds like getting beaten with a 2x4.
It's funny because the 16-year-old was half his size and hit the ball harder than him and did not grunt.
Hey.
Did not grunt.
That guy, man, I tell you what. All right, so that's the end of the notes that I had for the men's side. Was there one last one drawn on there? I don't think so. I think that was kind of it. Yeah, that was it. Oh, there goes my notes, but I don't need those. All right, so how we're going to end the show as usual with 12 rapid-fire questions. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to ask 12 questions. Type them in quickly. If you think too much, they don't count. All right? Answer as you go. You ready, Carla?
Ready.
You all ready? Let's go. Question number 1. Since there has been a couple of players this year stripped of their first-round prize money for lack of effort, should Marco Trungelliti, Nishikori's opponent today that retired 4-1 in the second set after having lost the first set 6-1, should this at least be looked at for some type of similar penalty?
No, I believe he was truly injured.
Question number 2, true or false? There are better and more deserving and aspiring tennis players out there to continue to give wild card berth or wild card entries to other than Eugenie Bouchard.
Absolutely true. They should not give Bouchard that wild card.
Bouchard looked lost out there. It looked like a tournament trying to sell bikini tickets, but ultimately you can't wear bikinis on the court. There's many better players out there currently than Eugenie Bouchard. This isn't the Bouchard from 2014. This is Eugenie Bouchard Instagram model from 2019 that isn't even that good of an Instagram model. Not that I look. You know,
I don't care.
Question number 3.
Laughing over there.
Question number 3. Question number 3. Here we go. Sasha Bajin, Naomi Osaka's former coach, Serena Williams' ex-hitting partner, and currently Mladenovic's coach, is usually spotted on camera with slick hair, a spray tan, and glistening teeth. Hey. Today he had all the above.
Yeah.
Plus, he had rolled up sleeves somehow in the audience every time the camera rolled by to show off his arms. Would you say that he is absolutely and unequivocally full of himself?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Question number 4. Is it time for Tomas Berdych to retire from professional tennis?
Yes.
Question number 5. I like Anastasia Sevetsova a lot. How about you?
I do too.
She has Martic and Swiatek in the way, though. That's worrisome.
I think she can win.
Question number 6. Paolo Lorenzi, the veteran Italian tennis player that just played the young kid, Svachda or whatever, the young 16-year-old boy today, has huge eyes. Huge eyes.
Yeah, he looks like a goldfish.
Is it possible that he is part bug?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like that movie, The Fly. Yeah.
Let's go. I'm about to serve. My eyeballs about to pop out.
Actually, he looks, if you watch Aquaman, you remember Aquaman fights the guy with the big eyes? It's just like him, actually.
Next time you serve, don't let your eyeballs pop out, Lorenzi. Don't let your eyeballs pop out. Question number 7. Why do we continue to have to look at Patrick Mouratoglou or seemingly every... excuse me, let me rephrase that. Why do we continue to have to look at Patrick Mouratoglou on seemingly every tennis news outlet every time there's a match going on? Is he even that great of a coach?
I've heard he's not, from a lot of like real high profile coaches. I don't know.
Jeez, I can't even turn on a tennis commercial without having a pop up of this guy, bozo, creeping up in the screen like he acts like he coached Serena. I mean, come on, bro. You just met the girl like 4 years ago or something.
No, more than 4 years.
Whatever. Come on, man.
Serena doesn't even need a coach.
Patrick Mouratoglou and Sasha Bajin need to start their own like haircutting and GQ salon and call it like the Rico Suave Have Nave because you suck. Tired of looking at these two guys. Tired of it.
Man, I'd rather look at Goran Ivanisevic.
Spray tans and excessive...
With his white hair, he still looks better.
Yeah, I mean, you get Mouratoglou, you got a bottle full of mousse. You get Bajin, you got a whole bunch of whitening strips for the teeth. And gel and spray tans. These guys got enough cosmetics on them to sink a ship. Hey. Question number 8. Paolo Lorenzi. We're picking on this guy today. Paolo Lorenzi has played for a very long time.
He has.
Very long time.
Yes.
And somehow his grunting level has gone relatively unnoticed. We've been talking about...
Maybe it's his age.
We've been talking about screech level indicators.
He's like 37, so maybe it's his age.
Relatively unnoticed. Should Paolo Lorenzi be on the next grunting/screeching Hall of Fame ballot? Should he be in the screeching or grunting Hall of Fame? Lorenzi.
Maybe. There's worse guys than him.
Same guy that's getting beat with the broomstick every time he hits the ball. That guy.
Forehand.
Hit me. Oh, I hit that. Shoot. Question number 9. Who looked more vulnerable today in their first round match? A. Ashley Barty or B. Carolina Pliskova?
I think Pliskova.
They both look pretty vulnerable. I think Pliskova too, I would agree. Question number 10. Once again, we revisit Paolo Lorenzi.
Hey, we made him famous.
Paolo, I love you, bro, but you're getting hammered today. All right, question number 10. Paolo Lorenzi has for years worn a crooked-ass hat.
Yeah, we were watching that today. We were like,
Okay? Crooked-ass hat. Because of his eyes, do you think that he actually thinks his hat is straight?
Probably.
Straight, babe? My hat straight?
I think Kevin Anderson does it the best.
Alright, hopefully that's recording. So we had a cell phone that died on us right in the middle of our question number 10. So in case there was a snafu on that, I'm going to repeat question number 10. I think it came across, but I'm going to be sure. Question number 10. Paolo Lorenzi has for years worn a crooked-ass hat. Because of his eyes, do you really think his hat is straight? Okay?
Yeah, I think he does think his hat is straight.
Anyway, so we kept going like a minute or two after we realized the camera died. Maybe only like 30 seconds. It was caught in great due time by our wonderful producer, Chris, over here. I love you, bro. I really do. Really do. Dude, let's go. Let's go, Chris. That's how we roll. But I can't lie. Anderson? Lorenzi? Got something going down with that hat, man. Question number 11.
I'm thinking of Anderson with his hat. And he always like this. It's like...
That was my serve, sorry. I got some big serve. I don't know, man. And Lorenzi,
poor guy, he's had a tough year.
And Lorenzi like this. And he gets up there serving like... Question number 11. Don't worry, I just got my Anderson / Lorenzi hat on. Question number 11. We recorded this show prior to Serena Williams getting into a grunt and screech off with Sharapova. So this match is going to start soon. So there will be a whole lot of grunting on one side of the court, and there will be a whole buttload of screeching on the other side of the court. All that aside, who wins, Carla?
I say Serena. The grunting Sharapova, but the winning Serena. I hope so, because otherwise, yikes.
I can guarantee you this is one match that Sharapova, for the rest of her life, will hope that she wins, especially after having to do that Grigor Dimitrov swap-off back in the day. She's probably like, what? You took my man? You took my man? What's up, girl? What's up? I'm going to screech you.
Well, Serena was with him first, so.
Whatever.
Well, who cares? Why do you want Dimitrov?
Cat fight, let's go!
That's the past.
Shoot, no such thing as the past up in here. Shoot. Question number 12. If Maria Sakkari ends up facing Ashley Barty, does she have a chance?
No. No.
Maybe.
No.
Maybe.
No.
Could be a good third round match, though, right?
Yes, definitely, yeah.
All right, everyone, that is it. Thanks so much to all of you. You are our player box, so we'll do the Djokovic thing, overall cheesiness. We'll give you that. Thanks so much, as always, to YTEX Strings, Ivor Savage, especially the president and owner of the company. Again, YTEX has been a top-notch company, not for just this show. We don't just say that because we have used YTEX stuff since 2014, long before the show, and we are blessed and honored to have the giveaway stuff that Ivor provides for us for the show and for all of you. We will see all of you tomorrow. Please, by the way, subscribe to our channel. We're trying to meet a goal before the end of the year, and that will help us on our journey to make next year even that much better. Please subscribe again. We will see you tomorrow. And as Carla always says, much love, Chris, for catching that earlier. Much love, Chris. Let's go. Adios.